Beer man says that I got to slow down a little bit. I'm out with the beer man today, everybody. Captain Bill Saiff III here on the back deck of an unknown vessel somewhere in the eastern basin of Lake Ontario. I'm old buddy B. Swartz. We're just cruising around here. I'm going to give you just a touch more speed.
You can get a little more.
There we go.
Better put the net together. She ain't together.
Well, I'm not even worried about it. I think you got a baby. I think you're getting the little ones out of the way so that I can catch a good one.
He's playing.
Tell me what you were doing right there when that hit.
I was just getting ready to flick it over to put a board on. I flicked it.
Yeah.
And he took the rod right out of my hand.
Now, was that gold tuxedo?
Yeah.
Gold tuxedo. There is a bait right there, Brian, that if you're fishing the South Shore, and this is weird how this works, people. I don't know how to tell you this, but I've fished a gold tuxedo till I wear the paint off it down on the South Shore. We'll catch fish periodically on it, but it is not one of the top producing baits. But we want a natural bait today here because gin clear waters, you can see that it's flat calm. But in the eastern basin of Lake Ontario,
it's a walleye.
Is it?
I don't know. I think it could be.
The gold tuxedo is a dynamite standard bait. We run it all the time with tremendous success, and to have that thing hit right off the bat
I could see him like 40 feet down.
Not a shock to me right here. Oh yeah, I can see him coming right there.
Let me tell you a little bit about my friend Brian Swartz. He works for Eagle Beverage, and we refer to him as the beer man. I don't think there's a fisherman or a bar owner in Lewis or Jefferson County that doesn't know Brian on a first name basis. You might say he's addicted to fishing. Well, Brian and I set out on a mission today, and that's to catch big trophy lake trout in cold, clear water in the trench off Henderson Harbor. It's not that long after ice out, and the big trout are biting. Today we're using 3 techniques: downriggers, inline planer boards with weight, and dipsy divers to target these fish. Now, we're not on the back deck of one of our charter boats. We're fishing on Brian's platform, his 19.5-foot Starcraft, which is the perfect vessel to target these fish during the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. We can practice social distancing and still get some good fishing video to bring you these tech segments on catching these big lakers. Let's get back to the action.
That's a nice size one.
That's actually what we were hoping to get. You and I were both talking over coffee this morning saying it'd be nice to catch browns, but if we could catch some lakers, that would be fantastic.
Especially up high.
Yeah, that's a tremendous fish right there.
Beautiful fish.
Yeah, he is good, isn't he? Look at that. What a nice fish. And you know what? I don't think that is a gold tuxedo.
No, it isn't. I just remembered.
Ladderback?
Another one. Yeah.
It's a natural born killer green. Not surprising. I was going to suggest that one with a little weight down on a rig or on a weight rod at some point. Look at this. I just want to see him right in the water.
Isn't that beautiful?
He is good. What a nice looking fish this guy is. Look at this big laker coming right here. Man, in the spring of the year, they are absolutely tremendous. Yeah. You want to grab them with your hand, or you want me to get a net out for you?
Yeah, you might as well get the net.
All right, hold on. I'm going to go off for a second.
Or you want to hold the rod, I'll get it.
Yeah, I can do that. Shit, I can lose it as well as the next guy. Going for the engine.
Is he?
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. I'm just trying to turn him for you.
Oh, he's almost, just back up there. I can get him.
I don't want to. All right, there he is. Let's bring him in. It is. That's an over 30, dude.
Yeah, no, it's a beauty.
He's a hammer. Big trout right there. It's the COVID-19 pandemic, so as people watch this video over the subsequent years about spring trolling, you'll know when we were doing it because everybody in the United States was in the same bucket of fish at the same time, and it's unfortunate, but a real lack of fishing pressure. No charters going on right now. That's why we're out working on our own. Step right in the back and hike that guy up. Give me a good pose for that, will you?
works real well.
Look at this. Look at this trout right here. What a way to start the day. Hits right in your hand. We were just talking about how guys came down the high rocks the last couple days and never fired a rod. We need to get the entire bank set, dude.
We just got lucky.
That's it. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Right there, Brian.
Yep.
Got him?
Yep.
70 feet right here.
Okay.
Want me to slow her down a little bit? Or are you okay?
I think I'm all right.
All right. Now, talk to me, bud. You had a stacker over the top of that, didn't you?
Yep.
We saw that start to flicker and it didn't pop out of the release.
Yeah, we saw the rod bouncing.
What was your bottom bait on that?
The bottom was the,
I know you were sliding a blue dolphin over the top.
yep. It's the black bubble.
Black bubble.
Yep.
Basic natural color, something we'd expect for trout. It feels like it's got some weight to it.
Got some weight.
We're at 2-0. I'm just gonna back you just a little bit.
Oh, he just put his brakes on. You're good, Billy.
Put the brakes on, huh?
Yeah, he put the brakes on.
And boom, we were into it. Well, this is the one that we need right here, you know, because
I got a big appetite.
well, you're solidly on the keto diet, and I'm on the Cheeto diet.
I named the keto diet. I have that recorded. I named it.
But what we want to do with this is show a recipe on the grill. Our buddy Jason Cashel from down in North Syracuse there in Central Square.
15 feet.
He's got a great recipe where he grills these things with butter.
Pretty one.
Oh man, what a beautiful, another big monster fish. Look at that. Got him. Man, he's a beauty. Beautiful fish. Big old Seneca. You can see the orange. You can see the orange flame edges. He's right off in the net. He barely hit that bubble. Just a beautiful, beautiful lake trout right there. Already. Yeah, it came right off in the net. There's that stinger. Show me that stinger, buddy. There's that black bubble and the stingray size down in the bottom.
Well, that natural colored stingray spoon worked to perfection. Congratulations, Brian. Another great lake trout, and it proves once again that lake trout love the cold temperature. They can be close to shore, high in the water column, or they can be as deep as 55 feet in 70 feet of water. Let's go to the kitchens of the Westview Lodge where our lake trout has been cleaned down and it's ready for the grill. We've taken all the fat off the surface of the fillet and we're going to use 4 basic ingredients. Per Jason Cashel's recipe, we're going to rub butter into the surface of the fillet. And then when that's done, we're going to add a layer of honey. Once that's finished, we'll use a spicy mustard or a brown mustard paste over the top of those 2 ingredients. And finally, we'll finish it with a Cajun seasoning or a Cajun redfish seasoning. We then let it stand at room temperature until those ingredients firm on the surface of the fillet. Once that's been in that condition for 20 to 30 minutes, we can take it to the barbecue grill where it will be cooked at medium heat for approximately 15 minutes. And when that's finished, it's a beautiful fillet that's ready to be served on the table. Tonight, we're serving it with mashed potatoes and stir-fried oriental vegetables with a nice tossed salad on the side, and it's a perfect dining experience. Swartzy and I are enjoying fantastic action on these cold water lakers. Here he sets the hook on a weight rod. This bait's a gold perch trolled 120 feet down the side of the boat. Another big lake trout. In fact, the bulk of the lakers we're catching today are in excess of 30 inches. They're beautiful fish. Now we've taken them on weight rods. We're fishing inline planers with weight that's added to them. We've caught them on downriggers, and before today's video's over, we'll catch them on dipsy divers as well. Let's go to the ramp right now, as I've got a selection of cold water spoons that will serve the angler well when fishing lake trout under these conditions.
Right now, we're at the ramp. We're fishing out of the tin boat here. You can see it here in the background, Brian's rig. And let's talk a little bit about the conditions that we're faced with out there on Lake Ontario in the early spring. It's April, the water's cold, it's generally clear. Conditions are not good for catching fish of any description. Almost no brown trout on the shoreline, so we're edging out into 20, 30, 40 feet of water and we're trying to catch a lake trout. What are we going to run when we get out into those areas? We need to run natural style baits. I pulled some that we've used over the last couple days that are working good. You know, there's the Caddyshack. That one happens to be on a UV tape pattern. That one's been solid on the trout. The last time we were out fishing lake trout, the NBK in the stingray size, this particular green one with the UV tape and the black, that's solid. You got to have some orange in the pattern. You know, it's always a good idea to run a Sodas Point Buckeye, but up here in Henderson, one of the favorite spoons is this one right here on the UV tape. On the backside of Stony and Glue Island, Dad and I run that particular bait on a regular basis, and it's always solid. Two that are very, very dynamic, and I'm just going to hold them up here. This one right here, this black and silver, that's the Black Wiggle. That is a very natural bait pattern. It's going to simulate alewives, smelt, anything on the shoreline. And here is the Gold Tuxedo, and again, a very natural color presentation that you can expect to do well in the clear water. You'll notice that we're not running many of the fancy, really gaudy colors that we would be running if we were in more turbid conditions. When the sediment gets up in the water column, that's a horse of a different color. Now you can go to your heavy chartreuses, your heavy greens, your neons, all that stuff that those fish need to see to be able to hunt in those turbid conditions. One thing that we did do, let's show you these two baits right here. We did bump up when we were fishing those lake trout because we knew we were into good sized fish that were 30 inches plus. We did bump up to the stingray size so that it simulated large bait. Gold perch, very solid natural bait color, and the black bubble here. Both of those are going to be very dynamic in clear water conditions. Brian made a suggestion of jumping up to the stingray size, so when we went to riggers and dipsy divers, instead of just planer board rods, we upsized to the stingray, and that proved to be exceptional on those big trout. Over the last couple days that we fished, just running out quick to grab 6 or 7 lake trout, probably 85–90% of those fish hit on the stingray size and in a downrigger or a dipsy diver type fashion. Why aren't they right on the shore and working hard in planer board situation? Just cold and it's clear. Don't be afraid to vary your techniques. Those lake trout are going to be in that deeper water. They love the cold temperatures. As it starts to come on here into the mid 40s, 45, 46, 47, 48 degrees, expect that activity to pick up. But when it's in the high 30s, in the low 40s, in clear water, you got to stick to natural presentations, and that's what's going to get you the bites, especially in the early spring of the year. We're hammered on right there on a dipsy diver, 50 back. We're out in 55 feet of water, running on a dipsy. Just switching, we're running 4 rods here now, 2 dipsies and 2 riggers. And Brian hit on this diver rod, so I need 3 hands. I'm going to turn us.
Yeah, go, you might as well.
Might as well turn us and we'll take it right downwind. Yeah. How's he feeling?
He's coming.
We just, we had our limit of lake trout here this morning on the high rocks, and we decided just to edge out into a little deeper water and run a downrigger and dipsy pattern, just 4 rods. And we're locked up here. 50 feet. What's on that one, old boy?
This is the Black Bubble, I believe.
Black Bubble's on a rigger, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Black Bubble's on a rigger. So you had a...
Blue Dolphin on one side, and...
Gold Perch is the other one down on the rigger, I think, right?
Gold Perch on the rigger.
Yeah.
I just flipped those.
I see a diver.
Dig in hard.
See the diver, dude.
Straight down. I got a long lead on this, so it's gonna be.
How the hell are we gonna handle this dude?
I'm gonna spin him right now, quick.
Okay, look at the size of that trout.
Nice Seneca.
Holy balls. He is a friggin' jumbie right there.
Look at that size of that.
I think that's the biggest trout. I think that's the biggest trout we caught today. Look at the size of this guy right here. He is a jammer. What do we have him on? Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, the
green alewife with the UV. Yeah. That's a smasher, Brian. Really good. Look at the size of the jaw on that guy.
Oh man, hooked him right in the eye.
Yeah, hooked him right in the eye.
Well,
Pliers.
yeah.
Are they in here?
They're right in behind you.
Oh, here we go.
Get this right out of him and release this fish.
I want you to hold him here and I'll get a nice picture of that guy.
Boy, he stunk that.
Green alewife.
Oop, there we go.
That's all right, green alewife. You can see how dark this lake trout is, and he's flamed right out here. Big old Seneca right there is what I'm thinking he is. Well done, Chief. You know what? It's time to button it up.
Button it up.
Let's drop him in and we'll head for the barn.
Yeah. Bar or barn?
Listen, dude, it's Easter Sunday. I think we better go to the barn.
Yeah, we better go to the barn. Is right. Yeah.
We better go.
Well, that's it for Fishing with the Beer Man. Brian, great job on all those Lakers. I hope you enjoyed the tips and techniques that we shared with you today, and that you took home a recipe for the next time that you take trout from the back deck to the table. I'm Captain Bill Saiff III. Thanks for watching.